has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
Yeah, so while you're at it, I just think, as we go into the third hour here, you got to follow us like on all these social medias at SportsGrid, at SportsGrid TV, at Carver High, at Scott Ferrall, at Ferrall on Grid, at Ferrall on Bench. Did I get all the shows? I think I did. Did I get the network? I think I did. I mean, like, why aren't you following us on these social media platforms on X and whatever? Like, honestly, just do it and just get it over with. It's worth your while, believe me, with as many games as we hit, as many bets as we hit, as many taters as Carver High hits, as many golf bets and tickets that he cashes. I mean, honestly, what are you waiting for? Follow us. Get in on the game. I mean, honestly, it's smarter to be on SportsGrid. All right. So game 5 tonight in Raleigh, one of the worst places in the world for hockey that I've ever been around. But I think they're going to annihilate the Devils tonight. The Devils suck. I mean, they have looked pathetic.
They have not looked great other than that overtime win in game number 3. They will try to stay alive tonight and avoid the gentleman's sweep in Raleigh. This is heavy lumber here. Minus 285 I've got this pumped up to now for Carolina. Plus 235 for the Devils and a 5.5.
I mean, this is a puck line game written all over it. I think they'll destroy them. I think they'll empty net them. I think they'll, this is 5-1, 6-2, written all over it, if you ask me. I like they've already beat their ass. They lost one game in double overtime. That's it. They've had one bad game. And then they're going to win 4, and that'll be that. 4-1.
I'm with you. I don't really see much
pushback
over from the Devils tonight. I just don't see the pushback from the Devils.
And the over 5.5.
Gentlemen sweeps all around. In the Eastern Conference, it's looking like. The West, though, is a much different story, as we have 2 Game 5s tonight with both series being tied 2 games apiece. Many did not think that the Vegas Golden Knights and the Minnesota Wild would be in this spot heading back to the T-Mobile this evening, but here we are, a Game 5 this evening, just after 9:30 p.m. East with the face-off. Here is Vegas head coach Bruce Cassidy. 2-2 coming back now. You can't look big picture, one game at a time.
Well, you get some juice from that. There's no doubt. It's a big swing in the series, and after that, that's it. It's back to work. Guys have been through some, tight series here before. Going back to Gosha's question, the momentum. We know that they're going to be ready to go in Game 5. They're not going to overthink Game 4 because it didn't go their way. Just like in Game 3, we didn't panic or, hey, you know what? Let's get ready for Game 4 and. Take care of that. I know you can't look ahead. You just can't. You got one game in front of you. You got to go out and do your best to win it. And if you don't, well, you got to win the. You know what I mean? Like there's a little bit of that you're not thinking big picture. Well, we're going to build our game for 2 weeks from now. It's more now. You get a little more singular focus on it's Game 5.
I mean, he was just rambling there, and nothing was said. Just. Stop. They have to win tonight at home. That's just all there is to it. Like, I think they will. And it's a 5.5. I think it's a 4-2 game. Knights, just like Game 1. I thought, Game 2, they got their ass beat. Game 3, they got their ass beat. And Game 4, they won in overtime on, an incredible goal in the crease. And Barbashev, right? Isn't he the guy that had the goal? I think he did.
Yes.
So I think they go home and handle their business tonight. I think a lot of people think the Wild are going to go back in there and push them around. I don't think that's happening. I like Vegas on the puck line. I'm not paying $240 or anything around that number for anything, but I'll go Rogie Vachon, lay the goal and a half, and go over 5.5.
Yeah, I got it just under that at minus 230 right now.
It's too
for
much.
The Knights against the Wild. And I got the Wild at plus $1.95 with that 5.5. So I'm with you. I think the Knights win tonight. And if you're going to play it, for me, it's probably a puck line and hope you get yourself an empty netter or they run them out of the building. But
right.
It is paying. I'm definitely not laying 240 or 2:30 tonight in that game.
I'm not doing that any night
Vegas.
with any team.
Any night. It's usually not the way that I like to go. And finally, the Oilers and the Kings. You were talking with Denny about it. They will play Game 5 at the Crypto. You know, we played that Hiller clip with Denny yesterday about how what's got to change in the third period. He didn't seem to like the question. Kings goalie Darcy Kemper feels a little differently, who, by the way, was named a finalist for the Vezina today. Congrats to him. He says, no, we do need to change things in the third period. We got to flip some things around.
You know, when they turn it on, you know, they've put us on our heels a little bit. And I think, you know, we got to make sure that we look at it and you know, even when we have the lead, just keep playing the same way and trying to get on the forecheck and get the offensive zone cycles going and take it to them a little bit instead of sitting back too much.
Honestly, I could be his agent,
Kemper,
and make some money doing some VO work and some audiobooks. Let me say this: I gotta go with the LA Kings tonight because my thing is that they sucked so bad Sunday night, blowing that game when they had that game just done and won. They had that game wrapped up in a bag, money, and they blew that game. They absolutely, unequivocally have to turn around and win this game because they should have won that game, but they didn't. The Oilers got really lucky, if you ask me, and give them credit. They got it done, and the Kings didn't. But if they don't win this game tonight, they will never live down that Game 4 in Edmonton, and they will lose this series. They will lose this series. And remember, I was on the Oilers for 2-3 months saying they're going to go back to the final and win the Stanley Cup. They're a pain in the Kings' ass. I'll take the Kings tonight to win this game. They have to win. I still think the Oilers will win Game 6, and Game 7 is, I think the Kings' worst nightmare. I think Connor McDavid and Draisaitl will beat them in Game 7.
Look, I'm very invested, of course, in the Kings winning this series, and there's no way I think they can win it if they don't win tonight. So they got to win tonight and get this to 3-2 and give themselves 2 cracks at finally slaying the dragon here. Minus 134 you saw there for the Kings. Edmonton plus 105 and a 6.5. Gone over every game. Every game in this series has gone over. They're going to stay that way tonight, or do we finally get maybe the tension goes up a little bit here with it 2-2? Do we get a tighter played game or finally get an under in this series? I'm not so sure. I don't know if that's possible.
I got to be honest with you. I got to be honest with you that when I see that many people betting the over, like 95% of the tickets are on the over, I like the under.
Yeah. I just find it hard to believe that every game is going to have 7+ goals scored in it, right? And there's got to be a game.
It's got to be one good game.
Like I could just see tonight being 2-2 into overtime, like a stressful 2-2 game, and they're playing deep into the night. Like I don't know about this 6-4, 4. Yeah. I think we're finally going to get a low played game tonight. I like the under in the Kings and the Oilers for the first time in this series. I'm going to go the Rogie Vachon there with the under on the total.
I'm with you.
So there you go. Stanley Cup playoffs tonight. NHL draft lottery will be held next week, May 5th. The Sharks have the most chance for number 1 with the Blackhawks.
Why do they do that before the Stanley Cup's over?
They like to let you know who's going to have the top pick. They want to know. Like the NBA does it too. I think in a couple weeks during the second or third round, they let you know who wins the draft lottery. So they have something else.
Whatever. No one cares. That draft is honestly, you talk about a waste of time.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
knows how to show love to our everyday heroes. So if you're a first responder, you are in for some perks. Lots of hotels and casino offer big discounts to any first responders who can show valid work or volunteer ID. So treat yourself to a discounted stay. You deserve it. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Second game of doubleheader. We don't know exactly who's going to be in the lineup, and maybe you get an extended game number 1, which means tired bullpens and closers used up, which aren't available for game number 2, and maybe finding some extra shots here. But I do think the pitching matchup more susceptible, Tom, to runs here.
This is part of what we look at. Like I said, I don't expect both teams to win. So we have a pitcher who may not be sustainable at 28.6, but he's playing well right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
If you're going to trade Durant, right, it means things are getting weird anyway. Teams are going to, before they go for Durant, they're going to go for Devin Booker. That's just the reality of it.
You get rid of Durant, or do you do the crazy one? Because you're so far out of the West, do you get rid of Booker? Because D-Book will bring you far more in a return.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, let's shift gears and hit baseball finally.
Yeah, why don't we do that? Of course, from last night, let's do a couple things, and then everybody's playing tonight. It's a Tuesday night, 15 games in the majors. Orioles beat the Yankees 4-3.
Jeez, honestly.
At Camden Yards.
They haven't scored 4 runs in a game in 2 weeks. And then they kick the Yankees' ass? Honestly.
Well, Will Warren got welcomed to Camden Yards in a big way by Ryan O'Hearn on Masson last night.
Dominated the game the last 20 years.
O'Hearn to deep right field, down the line. It's out of here. Oh, what a big swing. A swing the Orioles have been searching for a week. And it comes off the bat of Ryan O'Hearn.
They were 7 games under 500, and they beat the Yankees after the Yankees had just swept a doubleheader from the Jays in the Bronx. And they go down to Baltimore, and they puke against the hapless, and I mean hapless, Orioles. I mean, it really is unbelievable. Like, to me, it's like, you can't even bet on them. Like, are you kidding me? Like, they can't beat the Orioles? I mean, honestly, this is not the Orioles of the last few years. They look awful this year.
They do look awful. They have not been good out of the gates, but they get themselves a win against the Yankees. They'll go again tonight in Camden. We'll give you the numbers in a moment. The Twins beat up on Cleveland 11-1. So the Twins have started to win some games and get themselves crawling back in the AL Central. Reds beat the Cards 3-1 in Cincinnati. The A's beat Texas 2-1 last night. The A's have now won 5 of their last 6, and they are 1 game over 500. 15-14, the Sacramento homeless A's.
That was our sleeper team. We like them.
Sleeper team this year. We need them to get to 70 and 80 games. And that would be great if they could somehow hit those numbers. Astros beat the Tigers 8-5. They were down in this game. Couple homers for Riley Green from the Tigers. Jose Altuve getting involved. Space City Home Network.
Is he still playing?
That ball driven high and deep to left field. Altuve hits the community leaderboard sign, basically on the train tracks. Train number 27 has just left Union Station. Astros lead 4-3.
I have no idea what's going on there. But I know that I don't feel like he's happy anymore there playing left field.
probably that's also because he's awful at it. He's a complete butcher out in the outfield. So that probably
Why would you
doesn't
move
help.
him there? Honestly.
Yeah, who knows? I guess they felt he was done. They wanted to move a kid in at second. They made that trade. They didn't even bring up a kid. They got Rogers from Colorado and put him at second base. Very strange. Braves beat the Rockies 6-3 last night. The Rockies, you talk about horrible. They are 20 games under 500 already. They've only played 28 games. The White Sox were only 16 games under at the 28 game last. They are on pace, and I've seen people throw this around today. They're on pace to win 24 games this year.
Come on.
With the way they're going to win more games than that. At some point they're going to fall into a 7 out of 10. Wouldn't it be great if they didn't know?
Wouldn't it be great if they won 24 games?
The thing is that the White Sox really, I know what the White Sox get to 41 or 42 last year, I guess. I forget what the White Sox finished with, but we kept thinking, at some point the White Sox are going to, have a good couple weeks, and now it never happened.
They still stink. And here's the funny thing is that's actually, and it is really a good sports city. I mean, the Broncos, the Avalanche, everything, Colorado football and Boulder.
And a beautiful stadium.
Everything.
Great stadium.
But no one's going to those games anymore, right? So they're the weak link.
Yeah.
They're the weakest link in that town. And the Nuggets are good. Everybody's good except the Rockies, and they become the red-headed stepchild of Denver.
They certainly have. Dodgers beat the Marlins 7-6 in 10 innings last night. The Dodgers had a 5-0 lead in this game.
Surprise.
The Marlins came all the way back to force extras. They actually took a lead in the top of the 10th, but in the bottom of the 10th, it just never ends with this Tommy Edman. I mean, he's got so many big hits since he went over to the Dodgers late last year. He did it again last night on Sportsnet LA.
Down the line, base hit Tommy Edman. Throw comes home, not in time. Tommy takes, delivers, and the Dodgers win it in 10.
Yeah, I honestly hate the Dodgers, and I just don't care about all that, the songs and all the rest and their walk-off wins. It makes me sick to my stomach. It really does. By the way, going back to Altuve, he was their leadoff guy forever, right? And now he told them to let Pena lead off. He's like, I haven't been cutting the mustard here. Let him do it. And I think they switched, right? Like that was per Altuve. So I don't know if he's unhappy there, but he looks it, like to me, playing left field.
Yeah, he's hitting second tonight with Pena leading off in that game against the Tigers.
That's the first time that's happened in 10 years.
Yes. Now, there is some more bad news for the Dodgers. Now, look, they had 1,000 injuries last year, and they still won the World Series. They've already lost Snell, and it doesn't seem like he's coming back anytime soon.
What a shame.
Tyler Glass now goes on the IL as well. He's got shoulder inflammation. So both Glasnow and Snell out of the rotation.
Isn't Glasnow injured every year now? He's just constantly injured.
Every year. Aside from Yamamoto and even the other kid, Sasaki, he ain't been good yet either.
The town crier.
He's had some problems with what's going on there. Altuve, it says here that Luke sent me the story, asked out of leadoff to have more time returning from left field. That can't be serious, Luke. Yeah, that cannot be legitimate. It is. It's in the post. It's from the AP. He needed more time to get to the dugout? That was his reason? That he wanted to hit second? You've got
I just don't believe that. I know he's short and everything. I know he has to run a lot further than everyone else at his 5-foot height.
is so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum and the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyze the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Gart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to get a bunch of upsets. We're going to get a lot of craziness. Didn't happen as well. I mean, over the last calendar year, Sam, I don't ever recall 6 or 8 months of time in sports where the books lost, but here we are.
They estimate FanDuel and DraftKings lost $185 million combined for March Madness. So estimating not just that they didn't have a profitable March Madness, but it was a huge loss for them as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Second game of doubleheader. We don't know exactly who's going to be in the lineup, and maybe you get an extended game number 1, which means tired bullpens and closers used up, which aren't available for game number 2, and maybe finding some extra shots here. But I do think the pitching matchup more susceptible, Tom, to runs here.
This is part of what we look at. Like I said, I don't expect both teams to win. So we have a pitcher who may not be sustainable 28.6, but he's playing well right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You don't think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers can be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Ferrall coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
All right, so I just couldn't believe what I was seeing yesterday. I saw him hit the grand slam, Nimmo, and then he hit another one, like a 2-run shot. And then at one point, I'm like, he had 7 RBIs, and then he got another one, and it was like 9 RBIs. And I was like, I thought to myself, I don't think I've ever seen that before. A guy have 9 RBIs in one game. I can't remember in my lifetime seeing a guy have 9 RBIs in one game.
It is an extremely rare occurrence, and Brandon Nimmo did it yesterday as the Mets clubbed the Nationals.
Well, he sucks.
19-5.
What's he hitting? 215?
He's about down there. He's near the 2s. He's down there in the low 2s. But the Mets do get a win, 19-5. Nothing like scoring 19 runs in a game.
9 RBIs for a guy hitting 215. Yeah. How is that possible?
It's a bad job by the Nationals. They let it happen. Find some better pitching is what it comes down to. The soft underbelly of the National
It's your fault.
Couple weeks into the season now, a month really, it's time to start looking at some of the best and the worst in baseball. Why don't we do the money line first? The most profitable team so far on the money line is the Giants, plus 6.5 units in Major League Baseball. The Mets at plus 4.5, Tigers, Cubs, Padres. Obviously, you know the Rockies, and they've got this spot, and they're not going to give it up all year. Minus 19.5 units already, with the White Sox, who are also awful, 10 back of them, minus 9.2 units. But the Pirates are unfortunately on the naughty list, too, at minus 6.5 units.
Well, I mean, we all know they suck. So the thing is that I'm not surprised in the least that those 5 teams are the best money line bets of the season. The Giants have, been incredible. They had back-to-back walk-offs on Saturday and Sunday at home at Oracle. They win there. Look at them, up 6.5 units. The Mets have the best record in baseball. The Tigers have the best record in the American League. The Cubs have been the Dodgers' worst nightmare. They've been winning at Wrigley left and right. They've been fantastic. I got to tell you, they've been the biggest surprise for me in baseball. And the Padres are just flat out good any way you look at it. And they've been great at Petco, and they've been I'd say fair to Midland on the road.
As far as who's played the most overs this year, believe it or not, I was kind of surprised when I saw this. The Marlins have played the most overs in Major League Baseball. They are 19-9 to the over so far this year. Cubs, Diamondbacks, Giants, Mariners, and Guardians also on the upside. Meanwhile, the Rangers and Mets have played the most unders. Rangers, 21 of their 29 games have been under so far this year. Mets, Rockies, Blue Jays, Royals, Padres on the underside, playing low-scoring games.
I mean, what is it? The Padres have good pitching. The Mets pitching has been good. The Rockies don't score runs. I'm not really that. The Rangers have good pitching. I'm not surprised at any of that. I guess I am surprised at the Marlins. Is that because so many teams are kicking their ass? Is that what that is? I'm not surprised at the Cubs. The Cubs have had 13, 11 games, 11, 10 games. They've had all these wild games at Wrigley Field. And in the spring with that wind blowing out, it's been a launching pad.
Yeah, I think the Marlins is a combination of a few things. Obviously, they're 12-16. They've lost a lot of games. They've given up a lot of runs in a lot of those games. They've actually found some guys that have been hitting the ball out of the ballpark. This kid Mervis, Jesus Sanchez, that kid I was telling you about yesterday, the catcher they've called up that's hit like 3 homers in the last week. So they've actually they found a couple bats maybe in their system too. So they're actually scoring a few runs, which is nice to see. Dodgers are obviously still the favorites in the National League, and they will be all year. I don't care what happens. All the way to October, they'll be the favorites. But I'm still surprised that the Yankees are favorites in the American League at plus 340. The Yankees favorite. Sure. You believe that?
I at some level, I have to, I guess for the first time, say I'm not surprised that they're favored because they've been solid. I wanted to puke last night watching them lose to the Orioles. But, when I'm seeing them kick the Jays' ass in a doubleheader, the way they've played, I think the decisions they're making is, this kid Williams sucks, so put Weaver back in there. They're doing the right things. They're winning games. I think Judge and company have had their Goldschmidt have been hitting the ball all over the place. I'm not surprised they're favored.
Is so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum in the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyze the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Gart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to get a bunch of upsets. We're going to get a lot of craziness. Didn't happen as well. I mean, over the last calendar year, Sam, I don't ever recall 6 or 8 months of time in sports where the books lost, but here we are.
They estimate FanDuel and DraftKings lost $185 million combined for March Madness. So estimating not just that they didn't have a profitable March Madness, but it was a huge loss for them as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Second game of doubleheader. We don't know exactly who's going to be in the lineup, and maybe you get an extended game number 1, which means tired bullpens and closers used up, which aren't available for game number 2, and maybe finding some extra shots here. But I do think the pitching matchup more susceptible, Tom, to runs here.
This is part of what we look at. Like I said, I don't expect both teams to win. So we have a pitcher who may not be sustainable at 28.6, but he's playing well right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You don't think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers can be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Ferrall, coast to coast. only on SportsGrid.
So what do you think of those White Sox City Connect jerseys?
Well, let's show them. These are, of course, White Sox jerseys they're going to wear in basically Chicago Bull colors.
Right.
It's even so far that I saw a picture today of, like, on the inside of the back of the neck, they have the White Sox 4 World Series championships, and in the middle they have the Bulls 6 NBA titles from the 90s with Jordan there. So they're all the championships of the White Sox and the Bulls. Look, I guess if you're a Chicago Bull White Sox fan, it's probably an outstanding item. But it's not at all their colors. You know, the White Sox don't wear any red whatsoever, which makes it kind of weird to me. That's all.
Except that Reinsdorf owned both of them. So
right. And
they hated Reinsdorf when he owned the Bulls, and when they won all those championships. I mean, they booed that guy more than they boo commissioners of sports leagues. They hated him in Chicago, but let's just face facts. I mean, any way you slice it, and he fired me as well. I did Sarah Sox games, and he fired me in the press box in the middle of a game at Ed Smith Stadium in Sarasota. So I don't have a problem with Jerry Reinsdorf. I actually, at the end of the day, you have to respect him because he's brought all those world championships to Chicago. Now, I get it. Michael Jordan is the reason the Bulls won all those titles. But Reinsdorf owned the team, and then the White Sox won titles, and he owned the team. It is what it is.
It is what it is. But look, anything to make a White Sox fan happy. Because they haven't had much to be excited about. No fans. They got no fans.
They don't.
They might not after last year.
They draw 3,000 to 5,000 fans. It's pathetic.
Scene there right now. All right, we have a full slate tonight. Everybody playing in Major League Baseball. Some great weather. Starting to get some nice hitting weather maybe in some of these cities. Let's go. The Twins and the Guardians again. In Cleveland, they'll start in about a half an hour, top of the hour. They're at Progressive. Chris Paddock and Tanner Bybee tonight, minus 130 for Cleveland, plus $110 for Minnesota, and an 8.5.
I know they spanked them last night, but I'm still going back to the Guardians tonight in Bybee because I think Paddock has been getting lit like a bong. I mean, every time he pitches, he gives up 7 runs. He hasn't won a game yet.
He stinks. I'm with you on that, and I think we get some runs there this evening as well. The Cubbies will open up a series at PNC, baseball night in Pittsburgh. Imanaga goes for Chicago. Andrew Heaney, who's been, let's just call it like it is, he's been awesome for the Pirates so far. Excellent. Cubs minus $1.50, Pirates plus 125 and an 8.5.
You know, at one point, I got this ticket at 140. Pittsburgh at 140 with Haney this morning. So I'm going with the Pirates and Haney for the upset. The Rogie Vachon at PNC tonight over Imanaga.
Rogie Vachon. The Yankees will try again at Camden Yards down in Baltimore after losing last night. Carlos Rodon will go this evening. Kyle Gibson making his first start of the season for Baltimore. Yankees minus 165. Orioles plus $1.40 and a 9.5. Wind blowing out in Baltimore tonight.
Yeah, I like the Yankees and Rodon here and the over with the wind blowing out. I think you're going to see more big bats from the Yankees tonight.
The Cardinals are still in Cincinnati against the Reds. It will be Brady Singer for Cincinnati. Mikolas goes for St. Louis. Reds minus 145 plus $1.20 for the Redbirds and a 9.5.
I mean, honestly, if he didn't have that mustache, Mikolas would be the most overrated pitcher in baseball. He's awful. And the fact of the matter is, your boy Singer's been fantastic for the Reds. He hasn't lost yet. I think he's 4-0 or something like that. Give me the Red Legs in Great American in the Queen City.
The Nationals head up 95 to Philadelphia. They'll see the Phillies the next couple days. Mackenzie Gore and Zach Wheeler going tonight. We know how good Gore has been. Phillies -2 Bills. Big lumber here. -200 plus $1.65 for the Nats and on 8.5.
I'm on Zach Wheeler and the run line, laying it run and a half at +110 with the Phillies at the bank after hours.
After hours at the bank. Kansas City will be in Tampa down at Steinbrenner Field against the Rays. Tonight, Taj Bradley against Michael Lorenzen, -155 for Tampa, +130 for Kansas City, and an 8.5.
I mean, of the Rays, they've won 5 in a row. I'm going Bradley and the Rays at Steinbrenner. Give me Tampa at home. They're playing better than the Lightning.
Red Sox head north, cross the border into Toronto. Bowden Francis will be there waiting for them. Garrett, don't call me Davy Crockett because my name is Crochet, goes for Boston. He's -145 as the road favorite, +120 for the Jays, and a 7.5.
Yeah, I like Crockett and the Red Sox at Toronto at Rogers.
Diamondbacks at Citi Field against the Mets. Eduardo Rodriguez and David Peterson tonight, couple of lefties, -145 for the Mets, +120 for Arizona, and an 8.5.
I like the Mets, and they've been unbelievable, and I think Peterson has pitched really well for them. I'll take them at City over the Snakes.
You mentioned it's been really family and friends only in Chicago for the White Sox games. They'll have Milwaukee in starting tonight. Freddie Peralta goes for the Brewers. Bryce Wilson goes for Chicago. Brewers -265. White Sox +215 and a 7.5.
Christ, there's only one way to do it. It's the Brewers on the run line, and it's still brutal. It's -$1.60 to get that run and lay that run and a half that's insanity. I like the over 8 way better than I like paying that $1.60 to give up a run and a half. I still think the Brewers are going to kick the White Sox ass tonight. The White Sox are just absolute landfill trash.
That Wilson stinks. That Bryce Wilson. The Brewers are going to light him up tonight. Brewers team total, something like that. The A's are in Arlington against the Rangers. Jacob Lopez and Jacob deGrom going for Texas. Of course, deGrom -205 at home in Arlington, +170 for the A's, and an 8.5.
I'll take the A's in an upset. Again, all they do is win, and deGrom hasn't won. He's pitched decent, I guess, at best. And you're giving me that price? I saw it at $1.75 at least. And what have they won? What'd you say, 5 of 6? Give me the A's.
5 of 6. Tigers and Astros again in Houston. Reese Olson and Ryan Gusto going tonight. -120 for Houston, even money for Detroit, and an 8.5.
Yeah, I'll take even money Detroit with Olson at that price over. I mean, it's really not that bad either way. They're both really good. They've both been really good is what I meant to say in terms of these pitchers. But my difference is that the Tigers have been winning all these games, and the Astros haven't won as many. So give me the Tigers at even money.
The Braves are still in Colorado against the Rockies. Tonight they will have A.J. Smith-Shawver going. German Marquez goes for the Rockies. -205 for Atlanta, +170 for Colorado with a 10.5.
God, I still got to spend $1.45 on a run line. It's just not smart. And I actually, both of these teams have stunk so bad. I'm going to go under 11. Actually, I don't even think they're capable of putting 11 runs up.
Yeah, they didn't get there last night with the 6-3 game with the double-digit total. So Rockies just haven't been scoring runs. And I'd like to see, I played a couple of the Atlanta guys last night. I was hoping that maybe they could touch off some homers. We'll do some homers and the rest of the slate. 3 more games tonight that we have to get to, too.
Okay.
is so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum and the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyze the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Gart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to get a bunch of upsets. We're going to get a lot of craziness. Didn't happen as well. I mean, over the last calendar year, Sam, I don't ever recall 6 or 8 months of time in sports where the books lost, but here we are.
They estimate FanDuel and DraftKings lost $185 million combined for March Madness. So estimating not just that they didn't have a profitable March Madness, but it was a huge loss for them as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Second game of doubleheader. We don't know exactly who's going to be in the lineup, and maybe you get an extended game number 1, which means tired bullpens and closers used up, which aren't available for game number 2, and maybe finding some extra shots here. But I do think the pitching matchup more susceptible, Tom, to runs here.
This is part of what we look at. Like I said, I don't expect both teams to win. So we have a pitcher who may not be sustainable at 28.6, but he's playing well right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You don't think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers could be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
All right, now we go to T-Mobile in Seattle for that Angels-Mariners game in those 3 remaining games that are left. And I got to tell you, the Angels have been looking terrible lately. I'm on Seattle tonight, and I don't even like – I mean, I know it's Kokanowitz against Miller, but I think they both stink. But I think the Mariners have been winning games, and certainly at home.
Yes, they have. Bryce Miller does go for them tonight, and Jack Kokanowitz going for the Angels. Minus 210 for Seattle, plus $1.75 for Anaheim, and a 7.5. Miller is he's given up a couple runs. At least he's kept the long ball down. Only 1 homer allowed in 25 innings pitched. Let's see if he can get a win tonight.
I'll run line that at even money. Lay to 1.5 at even money in Seattle.
San Francisco and the Padres meet for the first time this year. So both the Giants and the Pods have gotten out to very good starts. They open a series, only 2 games in Petco. Logan Webb and Nick Pivetta tonight. Both have been excellent over the first month of the season. Minus 125 for the Giants, plus 105 for the Padres, and a 6.5 tonight.
Yeah, I mean, both of these guys have been brilliant. You're kidding me. You're going to give me plus $1.05 at Petco with Pivetta, who's been utterly brilliant and better than Webb. I mean, let's face facts. Pavetta's got a 1.2 ERA. Webb spinning the Webb again, a 1.9. They're both, winning. 3-1 Webb, 4-1 Pivetta. Give me the Padres, the Friars at home. What have they lost? 2 games at home? I mean, I'll take the Friars.
And finally, Miami and the Dodgers once again tonight. Here in Chavez Ravine. Sandy Alcantara going for the Fish. Now, the Dodgers are still do not know who they're pitching. Now, this will, of course, they're going to probably be at the ballpark in a little bit here, and then we'll find out. But they have not announced a starter yet. I've checked several places.
Is it not Davis they're starting?
I don't have that
Noah
on any
Davis.
of mine. They had as now they could be calling up. It's either going to be a bullpen game or they might call up a couple guys from AAA, but I don't have the official announcement from the Dodgers yet. But either way, they're minus 200 without knowing who's starting the game. And the Marlins are plus 168. 8.5 is the total.
All Rogie. Give me Alcantara and the Fish at Dodger Stadium tonight. It looks like the Dodgers apparently don't care about this game if they still haven't figured out who's pitching.
Yeah, they've obviously they've been losing some starters, as we mentioned. They're down a few guys, and they're trying to piece some things together. And they've been running a couple bullpen games as it has.
Taters.
What a shame for all of them. It is Tater time for a Tuesday night. It is a Dinger Tuesday, so we might as well try to ring the bell quite a bit here. A little cold last night. We're going to try to warm some things up. We'll start with one chalkier play. We're going Cal Raleigh against that Cocainowitz for the Angels late night up in Seattle. So +3 Bills for Cal Raleigh. Wind is also blowing out heavy in Cleveland today. We, of course, have that Paddock on the mound, a righty. He gives up a lot of homers, and Manzardo from the left side for Cleveland tonight, +4 Bills with him. We'll go there. Spencer Steer for the Reds tonight, +425. Like him a lot. Austin Wells has been hitting the ball hard. Remember he missed the homer Sunday against Toronto just off the wall? I think tonight with Kyle Gibson going, we can find our way. How about hitting one on the Utah Street for Austin Wells tonight? +470. Nick Castellanos, you want some good numbers, some good history. Castellanos against Mackenzie Gore, 7 for 22 with 2 homers. +480 for Castellanos tonight. And Ozzie Albies. I told you I tried some of that chalkier Brave guys last night. Riley, Ozuna, Olsen. Right. I'm going to go Albies tonight with a bigger price. 4 for 11 with 2 homers off of German Marquez in his career. So we'll go a little Albies for a little deep ball this evening. I'm going
to throw in Ellie. And I'm going to throw in Gino Malk and Suarez with another bop.
So I knew I had good Spencer Steer numbers. Steer 6 for 12 with a homer off of Mikolas in his career. So Steer's hit him well, which we like also. So some guys with some good history: Raleigh, Manzardo, Steer, Wells, Castellanos, and Albies for the Tater time this evening. Let's ring the bell as we go. Ding, ding for the baseball. All right, how about some football news and notes for you as we are now a couple days off from the draft. The 49ers have a lot of guys to pay. They finally paid one of them. George Kittle, 4 years, $76 million extension. Believe that now makes him the highest paid tight end because everybody who gets paid now becomes the highest, no matter what position that they are.
Quarterback.
So that's
automatic.
One down, but they still gotta go give the $60 million a year to Purdy. So they still gotta nip that.
Man, that dude is not worth $60 million. I don't care what anybody says, but I'll tell you this much: I think Kittle's worth every penny. He's their best player on the football team.
He is a stud out there.
Didn't they get rid of all their receivers? They, Ayuk, he blew out his knee, and then they
traded
lost
Debo.
Everybody. Debo, see you later. George Kittle's the best player on the team.
The Steelers did sign a wide receiver as well last night. Robert Woods, who's been around a while. He's been around. I think it's 12 years in the NFL now, 12, 13 seasons.
Oh, my God.
For Robert Woods. 1 year deal.
Who was the guy they had? Van Jefferson? Is that who they had?
They had Van. They've tried this with him.
He might as well be his twin. He sucks so bad. Stop. They're bad.
They like
signings.
bringing in some of these older guys to go in. So, yes, a little Robert Woods, a veteran presence for those young Steeler receivers. He'd be a veteran presence in the room.
James Woods. Wasn't he an actor?
The Cowboys are interested in a reunion with Amari Cooper.
Here we go
He's
again.
A free agent. Nobody has signed Amari Cooper.
How would you like to be him, knowing they screwed him once before, and you're going to go back and let him do it to you again? Still screw him again.
I think Amari's got a little bit of a problem right now, and that's that his services don't seem to be very much in demand. So he might have to take what he can get. And if it's somewhere in Dallas,
he makes plays.
He does. I'm a little surprised, but he's still unsigned. Weeks and months now into free agency.
is so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum and the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyze the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Dart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to get a bunch of upsets. We're going to get a lot of craziness. Didn't happen as well. I mean, over the last calendar year, Sam, I don't ever recall 6 or 8 months of time in sports where the books lost, but here we are.
They estimate FanDuel and DraftKings lost $185 million combined for March Madness. So estimating not just that they didn't have a profitable March Madness, but it was a huge loss for them as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Second game of doubleheader. We don't know exactly who's going to be in the lineup, and maybe you get an extended game number 1, which means tired bullpens and closers used up, which aren't available for game number 2, and maybe finding some extra shots here. But I do think the pitching matchup more susceptible, Tom, to runs here.
This is part of what we look at. Like I said, I don't expect both teams to win. So we have a pitcher who may not be sustainable at 28.6, but he's playing well right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You don't think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers could be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Everybody loves leftovers.
Everybody does love leftovers, and I'll finish with a few more football things here. The Browns declined the 5th-year option on Kenny Smallhands, Kenny Pickett. So he, of course, just went there, and he's got 1 year to prove himself to the Cleveland organization, or else he'll be out on the street.
This guy's moving around like a hooker. Honestly.
He's got the new moving van line slogan going for himself. Your boy has been all over the map. Got a ring. The Browns continue their absolutely bizarre couple of weeks by signing Deontay Johnson. I mean, what? Did you watch this guy as he bounced around Baltimore, Houston, what was that like? What he must have sold them a bill of goods. Oh, I'm ready to play now. I'm focused. I'm ready to show everybody.
He's a wacko.
He's got talent. You know that from him being in Pittsburgh. He's got talent. But man, as he's bounced, we're Carolina, Baltimore.
I'm sorry, he's got talent, but he's such a whack job and a mess that like it doesn't matter how talented you are if you're a goofball. Like this guy's a mess. Like. He's all about himself, nobody else, not team. It's all about him. If I don't get the rock, screw you. Good luck with that. Have fun with him.
Gotta have the rock. Arch Manning, of course, reportedly expected to stay. Now people are saying he's going to stay 2 more years at Texas. There's a lot of buzz, and I even saw odds. He is the favorite to be the number 1 overall pick in next year's NFL draft. That's, of course, if he comes out. Like this report says, he might stay 2 years at Texas before he goes and plays in the NFL. I think we've already seen with all these kids like Ewers and all the rest of them, you're going to make more money staying that extra year in college now than you, unless you're going to be the number 1 overall pick, which Arch would be. I think he's going to stay 2 years at Texas. I really do. I don't think he's going to come out next year.
Well, it's for me. I'll just go with that. If that's what you think, great. I don't want to go there yet. The guy hasn't he's gonna start now and play every week, and I think that's gonna turn him on. I think he's gonna get off on it because I thought he was fabulous when he played for Texas. But this guy Sarkisian is obsessed with Ewers and just kept starting him time after time in big games. So I get it. He never gave this guy the full slate of games he's going to play every week now, and I could see him staying, but I don't know how you actually, I mean, I guess avoid the lure of that number 1 pick in the NFL draft. You're going to be rich. Like, he's not going to be rich at Texas. He's going to have a lot of money. He's going to get paid a lot of money, but he's not going to get paid number 1 in the NFL. You're going to be rich.
But let's remember one thing with him. He's rich anyway. Okay? Well, whether he plays football or not, he's rich. He's from the Manning family.
Give you that. I'll give you that.
So I don't think that money factors in. I think for me it's going to be if he plays as good as we all think he is, and I think a lot's going to depend on who's got that top pick. Because we've already seen his family in the past due to the Eli thing. Like there's certain places they're not going to want that kid to go. So
here we go again.
It'll start. And if it's a team that's desirable, he'll come out. If it's a team that's not, I'll stay at Texas. I got plenty more I could do there because he ain't going to win a national title.
Yeah. I mean, he might. Why not? Why couldn't they win a national title with him?
I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in Sark after. I don't like the way he finished out.
I mean, they almost went the distance. Like, they're loaded. I know they lose a lot of guys to the NFL, but they're still loaded.
I question his decision-making because of what you just said, not playing Arch over Quinn Ewers for most of the year.
Fair enough.
Andrei Stojakovic, the son of Pager, who had a really good year at Cal this past year, out of Cal, into Illinois. Alex Caravan returning to UConn for his senior season, and Shaq will be the GM of the Sacramento State men's basketball team. He won't be paid for this role. His son Shakir is on the team, which, of course, is now coached by Mike Bibby.
My buddy was a star player at Sac State. I played ball with him all the time. He played there, but I have no idea what's going on there. I think Mike Bibby will do a good job, but who wants to go play ball at Sacramento State, honestly? Besides nobody. John Elway's longtime agent Jeff Spurbeck on life support after a golf cart accident. Like, what? How do you end up in life support in a golf cart? Would he crash the golf cart? I can't even come up with this stuff. Front Office Sports today is next. Get my app, search Ferrall. You'll be styling. You'll love it. It's hilarious. And we'll see you tomorrow at 3.
On Coast to Coast.
Here's a tip. Let's say you bet big on a 4-game moneyline parlay. Your first 3 bets have hit, but you're a little nervous about the last game. Consider placing a separate bet against the team you have winning in your parlay. You're technically a winner either way. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
We're going to get a bunch of upsets. We're going to get a lot of craziness. Didn't happen as well. I mean, over the last calendar year, Sam, I don't ever recall 6 or 8 months of time in sports where the books lost, but here we are.
They estimate FanDuel and DraftKings lost $185 million combined for March Madness. So estimating not just that they didn't have a profitable March Madness, but it was a huge loss for them as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The 2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.